Welcome to Forever Forward, an audio-based walking tour that explores Concordia's past and present. This audio tour can be enjoyed anywhere. You don't need to be on campus. To follow along on site, consult our online map and pause between sites when you hear this musical interlude. This is Chapter 5, A Cornerstone of Arts and Culture. I'm Jackie Rourke, broadcast journalist, podcaster, and Concordia Communications and Journalism grad. I'll be your host as we continue to explore Concordia's downtown Sir George Williams campus, where I enjoyed some of my favorite courses, like international law and the natural environment. In this final chapter of Forever Forward, we'll explore the people and places that define Concordia's immense contribution and preservation of the arts. Ready? Let's begin. Let's start back at Concordia's Engineering, Computer Science, and Visual Arts Integrated Complex, EV, on Guy and St. Catherine, which was once the site of Montreal's 1938 Art Deco York Theater. Abandoned for decades and beyond restoration, the York Theater was demolished in 2001 to make way for the EV building's construction. Walking through the halls of EV today, you'll find artifacts from the former theater that were preserved and restored, like on the EV Auditorium's east wall. That's where you'll find the 3 scenes of nymphs in Canadian landscapes paintings by artist Kenneth Hensley Holmden, part of the original York Theater's interior decor. Head up to the 3rd floor, and you can see the 3 York Theater medallions and chevron panels, which were recovered from the exterior of the York Theater. They're now on display outside the Black Box Dance Studio. Did you know Concordia is home to the largest and most diverse collection of public art of any university in Canada? More than 40 renowned international artists are represented on Concordia's campuses. For a deeper dive into the university's large-scale sculpture, painting, photography, and kinetic art, explore our public art tours at concordia.ca/50. The EV is also home to the Faculty of Fine Arts, or FOFA Gallery, on the ground floor, which primarily showcases the artistic and research practices of Concordia's Faculty of Fine Arts through exhibitions, publications, and events. The FOFA Gallery is dedicated to pedagogical inquiry, curatorial experiments, cutting-edge artistic practices, and training opportunities. Did you know, in 2022, through its Exploring Sustainability Across the Arts initiative, the FOFA Gallery began inviting artists and staff to think about alternatives to PVC lettering, a common but highly toxic material used in exhibition signage. As a result, the gallery published a toolkit and comprehensive report outlining sustainable alternatives. A few floors up, you'll find the Milieux Institute for Arts, Culture, and Technology, a graduate research institute that provides a platform for creative experimentation, interdisciplinary training, and progressive imagination. It shares space with Technoculture Art and Games, or TAG, Canada's largest games research centre. Did you know Montreal is a world leader in video game development? In 2023, Behavior Interactive, the largest Canadian video game developer and publisher, donated $2 million to the Campaign for Concordia to enhance Concordia's ability to develop new talent and innovation for a critical economic sector.
It was a way to sort of support diversity in the game industry through a place like Concordia, which of course has always had tremendous diversity. I think it's important to make sure that the industry is telling the world's stories. And so having diverse voices means that people all around the world can see themselves in that art.
Now head underground to the Concordia Tunnel, a long corridor that passes under de Maisonneuve Boulevard and connects Concordia's buildings to the Gare Concordia metro station. Opened in 2010, the tunnel is home to Acer Concordia, a series of 52 laser-engraved stainless steel plaques that tell the story of Concordia's history and its place in Montreal. Did you know Kamila Wozniakowska, the artist who created Acer Concordia, was born in Poland, yet has lived in downtown Montreal since 1983. Having witnessed Concordia's growth and evolution firsthand, she felt that a tree was the perfect metaphor for the university's growth. Concordia features 3 important theaters. Exit out of the tunnel into the Henry F. Hall building, and you'll pass by the Sir George Williams University Alumni Auditorium, or H110, located on the ground floor. It's home to many major events and film screenings. The Concordia Theater, formerly the D.B. Clarke Theater, is in the same building and features 387 seats. It's one of the principal performing arts venues for music, theater, and dance students from Concordia's Faculty of Arts. Cross over to the J.W. McConnell Building, and you'll find the J.A. DeSève Cinema, a 160-seat cinema with an adjacent foyer on the ground floor, used primarily for film studies classes during the school year. Did you know the Concordia Film Festival, North America's largest and oldest student-run film festival, was first organized 50 years ago? The festival features work produced by Concordia students from various departments. Head on to de Maisonneuve and Mackay Street to spot one of Concordia's most eye-catching artworks, the Di-Octo sculpture by American artist Anthony Howe. The 8-meter-high sculpture weighs 725 kilograms and comes alive as the wind blows, stretching out and reopening its stainless steel tentacles ad infinitum. The work was donated by Concordia graduates Jonathan and Susan Wiener to celebrate Montreal's 375th and Canada's 150th anniversaries in 2017. Did you know Jonathan Wiener wanted to place Di-Octo outside the Hall building since the site is where he began his journey as a student? It's also the location where he met his wife Susan on her very first day at freshman orientation. The Wieners are celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary in tandem with Concordia's 50th. As Concordia's campus has grown over the years, its real estate development has required some architectural preservation. A case in point is the 1912 Renaissance Revival-styled Royal George Apartments on Bishop Street. The building's unusual facade, made of glazed terracotta, was preserved and incorporated into the design of the LB building. Did you know the iconic 21-story portrait of Leonard Cohen on Crescent Street, which overlooks Mount Royal and the Sir George Williams campus, was developed by Milieux artists El Mac and Concordia graduate Jean Pendon in 2017. Let's head south to the Grey Nuns Building, or GN. Originally the mother house of the Grey Nuns of Montreal, the H-shaped former convent was constructed in 1861. Under its roof, the religious order operated a hospital and several schools. The site was acquired by Concordia in 2004 to create much-needed residence space. Today, the 5 floors of the Grey Nuns residence serve as home to approximately 850 students. Like all Concordia residences, Grey Nuns is co-ed and welcomes people of all genders. Its magnificent chapel has been transformed into a 234-seat silent reading room. In 2018, Concordia received a National Trust of Canada award for its restoration of the heritage space. Did you know? Marguerite Diouville founded the Sisters of Charity of Montreal, commonly known as the Grey Nuns. The Grey Nuns Building includes a crypt where Diouville was buried in 1771. She was beatified in 1959, and in 1990, Pope John Paul II canonized the Grey Nuns founder. Her remains were relocated to her birthplace in Varennes, Quebec in 2010. The crypt in the southeast wing remains a resting place for other nuns. The Concordia University Centre for Creative Reuse, or CUCCR, is the first of its kind in Canada. It diverts materials that would otherwise end up in a landfill and offers them to the community free of charge. CUCCR has diverted 18 tons of waste, saving the community more than $170,000. Did you know Concordia has stewarded the Max Stern Art Restitution Project since the early 2000s? It's the largest initiative of its kind in Canada and one of the most recognized restitution efforts in the world. As a Jewish citizen, Stern fled his native Germany to Montreal with his family in the late 1930s. Before he passed away in 1987, Stern sought to reclaim the hundreds of paintings that were looted from his art gallery in Dusseldorf by the Nazis. Stern recovered a few paintings, and those efforts continue today for the beneficiaries of his estate, namely Concordia, McGill, and Hebrew universities. Some 250 artworks previously owned by Stern have been identified, with dozens retrieved. The investigation continues. For decades, the Grey Nuns maintained a fruit and vegetable garden that yielded strawberries, raspberries, carrots, turnips, beans, and tomatoes. In the 1960s, the garden was converted into a skating rink. Later, it became a tree-covered green space, ideal for contemplation. Today, Concordia has created a downtown oasis with basketball and volleyball courts and an outdoor gym. The garden continues to grow food through Concordia's Food Coalition's Campus Potager, aimed at creating affordable and compassionate food systems. This concludes our walking tour. I hope you enjoyed exploring 50 sites across Concordia's 2 campuses as much as I have. For a relatively young university, there's already so much fascinating history here to discover. For more information on how Concordia is forever moving forward, please visit concordia.ca/50.